What was this about? Was this the journey for you to get abs, or was this journey of you not passing exams?
Fitness is simple,
Yeah.
but not easy.
So we're overfed at home.
Everything that you are putting off today
Yeah.
and you're missing out today for in the future, you can enjoy it today.
So religion's great. Religion's essentially like a lifestyle that you live.
Everybody's wired differently.
We were sitting, we called before he takes his shirt off, and I could see there were 3-4 odd girls sitting on our left, and I was just looking at them. And as soon as he removed his shirt, their jaws dropped.
Yo, sit the low on knife wonder maybe. We got your girl undulating to the rhythm of the drum. Wet t-shirt looking like a vacation. Take it off like Monday, baby, and there will be no underrating. So
I wasn't fit all my life.
Okay.
And, I wouldn't say I was fat or anything, and I don't have like a fat to fit.
That's what all fit people say, by the way, that I wasn't fat.
No, like I wish I was like fat and I was 100 kilos and look at me now and have a transformation story. But I was just like a very non-active kind of a kid. I haven't played any sport in my life till date. And so my dad forced me to work out. So this was in first year of college. I've come back on vacation, my winter vacation, and I'm sleeping. My dad wakes me up at like 5:30. I don't know. Let's go to the gym, and I'm like, I'm here on vacation. I was sleeping, sort of.
This was when?
This is when I was 18 in Delhi.
Okay.
I've come back from college.
Yeah, got it.
And then this happens 2-3 days in a row. And then I feel bad because I do respect.
I remember you telling me this story where your dad used to wake you up in the morning, and then 2-3 बार you woke up, nahi gaye. And then like you got ready, and you went to the car, and your dad had
He drove off. And then I'm like, I don't even know which gym he goes to.
Yeah.
Then in the evening he came. I said, see, I tried. I came now, but I didn't know where you went. But tomorrow I'll be ready. But tell me, just in case I'm late, which gym we're going to.
Yeah.
So I went to this gym, and fortunately, it was like a small gym inside a heart hospital. So not trainers there, but people around were physiotherapists. And so I got the right guidance at that point of time.
Yeah.
And that's how I started.
So no better people to guide you than people actually like certified, know about like medications. Physiotherapists are like great trainers, essentially, right?
They in fact know everything correct.
Correct.
They're fixing people, right?
Exactly.
So they know what the problems are.
Yeah.
So that's why I got a really good foundation to start with.
Yeah.
And I've always been a nerd.
Yeah.
I wanted to know the whys, So just because I was in a position where my whys were answered to, I feel I had a great start, and I continue to do this. And the next best thing that happened for my fitness journey was basically I failed in college.
Right.
So failed in college is basically you have to get enough credits to go to the next year.
Correct.
Like a college, and I didn't have enough credits. So it wasn't like I was dumb or anything. I had A's, B's, and I had a few D's, whatever. But there were some papers I just didn't give.
Right.
And all my life I'd been mediocre up till that point, and I just scraped through. Right? And this time I barely missed, right? I didn't scrape through, and that was also overconfidence and stupidity because I had to like...
What were you studying in college?
Engineering.
Right. Yeah. And where do you do that from?
Manipal.
Okay.
So now I had to clear 7 papers.
Yeah.
I didn't give 7 papers, or I failed some of them. And I had to clear 2 to go to the next year.
Correct.
And the smart ass me, I gave only 3 papers, hoping I'll clear 2, and I cleared 1.
Oh shit.
Right. So then that year, basically, I couldn't go to college. I wasn't allowed to step into any class.
Yeah.
And I was shit scared, and I didn't tell my parents about it.
Yeah.
So that was the year I worked out. Right? The gym was my escape.
So when you say you didn't go through you didn't get through the next year, so you were free the entire year.
The whole year.
What are you saying, bro?
So that's the year I got my abs.
Okay.
Right? And more importantly, that's the year when I retrospectively, I realized, the first time in my life I realized, if you put in the work, you see the results. And if you don't see the results, you step back and see what the gaps are, start filling them in, and then you'll start moving again.
What was this about? Was this the journey for you to get abs, or was this the journey of you not passing exams?
So it started with me getting fitter, right? And that was the only thing I was doing. right? That was the only thing that I was doing on a daily basis and constructing
but आप
moving forward in.
किस चीज़ की रेफरेंस में बोल रहे हो? आप बोल रहे हो कि ठीक है मैं I had to take a step back to like actually realize कि
Fitness में
fitness
कि
में
weight अब बढ़ नहीं रहा है, you know, like I'm not being able to push more, I'm not being able to gain more weight,
right.
should I increase my calories and this and that, right? Like I said, I was already doing engineering.
Correct.
I was a smart guy and I always wanted to know why I was reading and all of that was happening.
Correct.
It was just a attitude problem that I had. Right? And I look back and I say, if I hadn't failed, I would have just scraped through.
Yeah.
I'd still hold a mediocre job right now.
Correct.
Right? So that 1 year was like really transformational in a way, and I'm glad that I didn't scrape through that year.
So you happened to start working very hard after that year?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. So my last semester, I got a 9 GPA.
Okay.
Right. So that year was transformation in terms of how I look and also, you know, how I looked at things. You know, like earlier it was like, jo acha lagta hai karo, you know, jo nahi lagta mat karo, you know, whatever you manage.
Right.
But then after I flunked, I realized you got to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And now if you have to do it, might as well do it properly.
The right time. Yeah.
No, and like the thing is, like I realized my parents sent me to college to do one thing, and that's the thing that I do.
Study. Okay.
And then once I got back to class, like everything, like I always say, I'm very lucky now. Luck can be lucky, or it could be blessing, or our parents praying, or whatever it is, right? But like I've always had good guidance, and I would say things happen well for me because imagine I flunked and then I joined college again. Now I'm sitting with the batch that is junior. And when that happens, like I'm sure you must have been in a class where like a senior comes to your class and you look at that guy who's a weird guy, right? You all know that. But now I'm on the other side. And I sit in the class and I'm like, how am I going to get through this? Right? And fortunately for me, in the second period, 10 guys walk in and I knew all of them.
Yeah.
Right. So
but all of them had flunked?
No, all of them hadn't flunked, but all of them were my juniors. I had
a good rapport with them.
Enough to interact with them outside. I already knew them. And by the time it was the third lecture, I felt part of that class.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So those guys were also part of my transformational journey. You know, they don't even know this. But I can only imagine.
Shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And so there was another guy similar to me, but he did not have the same journey, at least in the classroom, right? But that also adds to your confidence and how you behave and all of those things.
Okay.
Right? So I was just lucky.
No, fair enough. But like you said, it was a transformational year for your fitness as well.
Yeah.
So what were you exactly doing that year in college?
So I had only one rule. Like I have to go to the gym and only then I can do anything else. So that kept me in routine.
Right.
Otherwise, like my parents didn't know. Right. And I wasn't really talking to them. It was a dark time in my life, right? And I was sort of just escaping. Like I was just behaving like they don't exist. It's just me and nobody else. The time that it came, the thought came and it was like not a good feeling, so I just pushed it away.
Right.
So
Which was
like you flunked.
Okay, like that.
Okay. Your parents, you know, haven't, like I come home every quarter, like done from college, come home, chill a little bit here, meet my friends here, and I didn't come back home for a year.
You require some sort of balls to do that. कि ठीक है घर जाऊँगा बताऊँगा ही नहीं एक साल कभी तो पता लगेगा. But वो भी एक तरीके का वही है कि मतलब you're like fuck, like it's been a year but I won't tell my parents, but they'll eventually get to know. Yeah, can't.
Yeah, so what happened was, like, I clearly remember this. So my mom, one day, like this, not even a year and a half. So I'm in third year, they think I'm in fourth year. And when my dad talks to me, he's talking about where do you want to go to MBA? I'm like, you would have, I don't know what to tell him, right? He's sending me shirts because you might need them for the interview. Very excited for me. And I feel more and more bad, right? And I try to avoid conversation. And one day my mom said, what's wrong? And for her also to ask me, obviously she knew, but we didn't have such a close relationship with either of my parents that I talked to them like friends before, right? And that's why this took the whole
distance, correct. Yeah.
And then she was like, मैं आ जाऊँ क्या? मैं कहा आ जाओ.
हाँ, अच्छा बुला लिया.
Right, बुला लिया. Right, and now she's come. I show her college around this, blah blah. And then she's in my room. I remember And then I asked my mom phone do, dad ko phone mila ke do. Like she was sitting there on the bed, and then I remember this, I'll get goosebumps now.
Yeah.
But I put my head on her lap, and I called dad, and I told him the whole thing while my mom was listening.
Right.
Right? So I told my dad for why that happened or how that happened.
Damn.
Just happened, and like he was really supportive. He's like, mom ko phone de. And dad told mom कि इसको कल shopping ले जाना है, या आया नहीं तो shopping नहीं करी.
Family bonding moment.
Yeah.
But were they impressed with your abs because you were working on it, you know?
No idea why it was a phone call.
No, but was your mom like, oh shit, my kid got jacked, and like...
No, I don't think all that occurred to them then, but then I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, आप भी आ जाओ, अब सब बात हो गई है. And he was really supportive, right?
Yeah.
And then he came in, and then I actually, like, by the time, like, almost a semester had passed, and I was at my best behavior. Like, always in life, whenever I sort of fucked up, I'm like, now you fucked up, you realize you stay on your best behavior for some time, right? And that's the way to get by things and get everything
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
So I was good in class. The teachers knew me, that he's failed, but he's trying. He knew my marks were fine. Like, they were like 9 GPA by now. I was just transitioning, learning how to be a good student, and, you know.
But did you always like engineering?
I always had a very inquisitive mind. I possibly wouldn't be, I don't know, like, whatever's happened has happened. Like, I don't want to go back and change anything in my life.
Okay, fair.
So I can't really answer that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to have WIP sponsoring today's episode, because they're the ones behind the scenes helping creators like me bring ideas to life. WIP sits at the intersection of technology and art, empowering storytellers to transform their visions into reality. In this AI-driven age, they're the champions of authentic, human-led content. Whether it's series like this, performance art shows, or even concerts, WIP gives us the platform to share, create, and shine.
One thing that you told me was like, okay, whenever someone comes to you and goes like, yo, any client that says that, okay, I want abs, you always tell them to go back home and like see, matlab, are there any people in your family that have ever had abs?
Yeah.
So genetics do play a very important role.
So not just genetics, but genetics and lifestyle. Right? So if for breakfast you're eating pav bhaji, for dinner you're eating chole bhatura, there's high chance that none of you are going to have abs, right? So this is the kind of question I ask people, like, when people come to me and like, what are your goals? Right?
Yeah.
Mostly goals are very aesthetic for most people, like, I want abs.
Yeah.
So I need to tell them that it's not easy.
It's not easy, but like everybody comes from a traditional background. Bro, kiske ghar mein subah utھ ke protein shake pee rahe hain? Parents.
No, so
very rarely.
This is a way of me to tell you, like, if nobody in your family tree has had abs,
right,
it's going to be really hard
for you to get.
It's not going to come easy.
Correct.
Right? You may not.
It's not impossible.
Eat the same. It's not. It's possible.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Right. Fitness is simple.
Yeah.
But not easy.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not easy because घर पे खाना बना हुआ है. Right now you're not eating. Right. You're not following societal norms. You know, as kids you like finish your plate. You know, like the thing about Africa में या गरीबों के पास खाना नहीं होता और तुम खाना waste कर रहे हो, right? So they start putting guilt at a very young age that you have to finish your food, right? Rather than saying छोटा plate लो, कम खाना लो, be like भर के लो पहले तो. Like, you know, you'll come from a खाता पीता family, plate भर के लो, because it's status symbol at one point of time.
Exactly.
There's no food. Right?
Yeah.
And then because there are people who are starving, finish all your food. Right? It's not
correct.
Ikigai.
So we're overfed at homes. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So that is conditioned within you.
Yeah.
So now you have to break conditioning.
Correct.
Breaking conditioning takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of like purpose to break that. You know, psychological conditioning or purpose. Otherwise, it doesn't come easy. Like for me, it was much easier because my dad started traveling to Europe in like 1980s. So he started experiencing that world, you know, like after work you hit the gym and then you hit the bar.
Correct.
Right. So I remember as a kid in 1990s, he would be part of a gym, and that time gyms would be like very few people would go, and you know,
him, not you.
Him.
Yeah.
But I remember he would go.
Yeah.
Right. So it was easy for me because also like coming from a South Indian family, a Christian family, out of the 14 meals of lunch and dinner, we had like non-veg in 8 to 10 of them.
Yeah.
Right. So protein content was not high now. It's been high from childhood.
Right.
Right. And the other meals, they were leftovers. Right. So I always had a lot of protein in my house. So up till a certain point of time when my friends would be like, I want to lose weight and this and that. This is not when I'm a trainer, but
Once you become fit, all your friends are like,
yeah,
kaise kiya?
कैसे किया?
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, कुछ मत करो bro, घर का खाना खाओ, workout करो. Right?
Yes.
When I grew up a little bit, I'm going to my friends' houses, seeing pav bhaji, like I'm meeting their friends, their parents have prepared all the fancy Indian dishes, and then I'm like, bro, घर का खाना मत खाओ, gym जाओ, सब सही हो जाओ.
घर खाना मत खाओ.
Yeah, because what is the kind of food that's being made at home, right?
Okay, right.
For most people,
Correct.
typically it's very oily, greasy,
Yeah.
mostly carbs, not too much protein.
Right.
Right?
So genetically, I mean, because of our genetics, we're fucked, right? कि मतलब पूरे घर में सब like everybody eats like routines.
Not genetics.
Yeah. Okay, lifestyle.
So genetics will only set the ceiling,
Correct.
right? It's like I can go 100 kilometers because of my genetics.
Right.
Start completing on 10th kilometer, then my genetics will only take me to 100 kilometers.
Yeah.
And you reach 95 and then start complaining about genetics.
Genetics.
Right? You become like me and then say, oh, I can't gain more muscle because my genetics are not like European genetics or American genetics. Like until then, don't complain. Like you've got a long way to go.
Correct. So it's achievable, like getting abs, doing all of these things.
Abs is just low body fat percentage. That's
correct.
You see footballers, right?
Yeah.
Kids who play football or cycle rickshaw guys, they're not having protein.
Yeah.
All they're having possibly is mostly a lot of rice and alcohol.
Exactly. Labor abs.
Yeah, labor abs, right?
Bro, you know what their diet actually is? Ki matlab someone was telling me that like they have 10 rotis and an onion.
Yeah, maybe dal, like...
Yeah, no, like, but that's what they have because like apparently the onion gives you a lot of testosterone and the carbs like help you work through the day.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't agree to that, but...
why not? Tell me.
The body is very smart.
Right.
Like it's adaptable.
Correct.
Right? You know, so many animals went extinct and stuff and we've survived. That's because the body can adapt to things.
Right.
Now, if the body knows I need to withstand repeated beatings of, say, physical labor and all of that, it'll find a way to hold muscle.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you'll be healthy, you'll be best, you know, like all your blood work will be fine. But if your goal is just to get muscle, you can get it if you work hard enough.
Right.
At the end of the day, how, you know, the rickshaw puller looks like or the labor looks like, most of us look like that in the in terms of humanity. Because we were roaming around all day trying to hunt, climbing trees, this and that. And we stopped doing that and now we're sitting on a computer.
Exactly.
And to mimic all of that, we go to a gym.
Exactly. 100%. Correct.
So we're just trying to do a little bit of activity that we're supposed to do all day. And also if you see most of the people who look fit a lot of time are like trainers or like very active people. Like you've seen me around in the gym, right?
Yeah.
I'm not training you, but I'm training other people.
Yeah.
I'm picking up a weight for somebody and giving it to them.
It's an active lifestyle that you have.
So
correct.
Lifting weights for 7 hours.
Yeah.
It might not be as intense as 1 hour of when I'm working out by myself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of steps involved.
Correct.
Possibly show pull-ups.
Yeah.
You know, to a client or to show off or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of activity and muscle use throughout the day, right? And when you add them up,
it adds up.
The volume is far greater than if somebody's just going to a gym for an hour.
An hour to work out. Yeah, I get it. No, that's why even when you wear whatever you're wearing, the Whoop, and I wear the Apple Watch, but like I see कि मतलब मैं दिन में कितना functional हूँ कि मतलब okay, I'm going around, that's why I'm losing those fucking 1,000 calories. Even days that I'm not actually working out.
Yeah.
For example, I take the stairs instead of like using the lift. So like I still have that active lifestyle that I'm living, right?
Yeah.
So that those things count and like it reflects कि ठीक है मतलब it's showing in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about like a lot of people talk about living the ancestral way, right?
Right.
Not to the extreme of Liver King, but being active throughout the day, you know, walking a lot, climbing the stairs.
Yeah.
Fitness is all in the simple stuff that reading in the magazines for years, like park your car a little away from your house. You can get an extra few stairs, park it far, like go buy your groceries, you know, walking. But also like India as a country is now very conducive for
walking.
Right? I can't walk into my market or to a cafe. I need to take my car up.
Yeah.
Right? That's another problem, big problem.
Yeah. नहीं वो तो सही है, but like what about like okay now it's been like 100 days I haven't been drinking. It's been about like 120 odd days that you went.
29th December, my anniversary.
Yeah, I feel great. Yeah, and like for me, like I've been a person ki matlab I still step out as much as I was stepping out. I just come back home
Little
earlier. I feel sleepy and then I'm like after there's nothing good happening in clubs post 1 a.m. That's something that I've realized. Then you're not chasing random shit. Like you're like, theek hai, matlab, okay, I had my fun. Now it's time for me to come back home. And that's a lifestyle you've been living for a while, right? Like it's discipline that you've instilled in yourself over time.
I don't know discipline or not, like, but like I would say alcohol is like borrowing happiness on the next day. You're having the fun next day, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I would choose being in a certain level of cognition the next day, any day over having a few more extra drinks and stay up till 5 a.m. You know,
Yeah.
it's not doing me any good. And I recently happened to be in a longevity summit and I met Brian Johnson.
Okay. Shout out Brian Johnson. Can we put a picture of him here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's the world's most measured man.
Yeah.
And
And the second most measured man is
not
Joel Pinto.
yet.
Yeah.
Let's try to become that.
Yeah.
He wears a t-shirt that says "Don't die."
Don't die.
So he's trying to not age, like
Yeah, that's freaky shit.
biological
Yeah.
age, but not freaky, man. Like he's doing so much for the whole world.
Right.
If you just pick up 2-3 things from what he's doing, whatever you think, you know, maybe somebody's into skincare and he's doing for every organ.
I know. Yeah. Apparently his ear is really old from the interviews that I've seen.
Yeah, so he'll probably try to fix it, right? Now,
Exactly.
if somebody has that problem, they might just do that, right?
Yeah.
Not to do everything that he's doing,
Correct.
but he's doing it for everybody, and also, I'm assuming he'll build a business out of it. But there were a lot of guests there, a lot of speakers, and these are all like top people there. So everybody had one thing to say in common, was prioritize sleep,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And the reason why we're having so many mental issues and Alzheimer's and all of these things is because one thing that has happened is sleep has gone for a toss.
For
Right?
sure.
Even your parents' generation, right?
Exactly.
Just one, not yours, like ours.
Yeah.
But this one generation ago, they slept at 10 p.m.
For sure. Yeah.
We go out.
My grandfather still sleeps at 10 p.m.
Probably your parents also.
My parents also sleep at 10:30.
So this generation goes out at 10 p.m.
Exactly.
Right?
If not later. Yeah.
And unfortunately, the concept of a circadian clock inside the body, that the body follows the sun
Yeah.
for a lot of systems, was just proven like in the last decade.
Yeah.
So all the studies and all will come now,
Huh.
right? But then
So because a lot of people may not know what circadian rhythm is.
circadian is sun.
Yeah.
Basically, the sun rises and sun sets.
Yeah.
So just like food and sleep is a regulator of your body, so is light. So that's why they say, okay, don't be on your phone at night because of the blue light, because up to a certain point, only the blue light coming from was from the sky.
Yeah.
So now your brain is confused. Is it sky? Is it day?
So a few weeks back, like I was at the gym and this guy was roaming around shirtless with like sunglasses on. I was like, sahi hai, matlab, if I had abs and I'd be at the gym, I'd be doing the same fucking thing.
There's a blue light blocking down.
And then a day or two later that I realized, okay, like I get it. I understand your raise, swag, whatever you want to call it. And then 2 days later, I realized you're wearing them for those are blue light glasses. Yeah, but they look pretty cool.
So that's the day I understood that I'm a little old and I didn't know what this means. Yeah. I looked it up and no, because I'm at a studio where there are like 40 lights above my head.
Yeah.
And so those block a certain wavelengths. And what I found after I started wearing those glasses is earlier when I'd go home, I'd take about 2 hours to wind down.
Right.
And now I just take half an hour, 40 minutes.
Fair
to wind
enough.
down, right?
Yeah.
If it's placebo, I don't care. I'm getting 1 hour of sleep
Extra.
every night. So over a year, it's 365 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah.
That's going to...
Wow, you optimize it like that. Like if you put it in like a year's time, calculating all of these things, then it really matters.
Do that. Like
Yeah.
also-
What's your sleep cycle routine like?
Yeah, it's not as good as I want
it to be.
So I sleep anywhere between 11 o'clock and 1
Okay.
a.m.
Okay. So Joel's like us guys. It's not. He's not super fucking natural.
Yeah.
He just looks like it.
But I'm hoping I get a big exit from one of the things I do. Then I can sleep at 8 p.m.
Fair enough.
Until then.
That's not usually how people think, right? Look, people are like, okay, exit करेंगे company से, we go to fucking Monaco, go on a yacht, open some beers. You guys like, I'll go back, I go to sleep at 8 p.m.
I'm gonna flip up my house with like biohacking stuff.
Yeah.
I will buy a car.
Yeah.
I buy a fancy, probably a hyperbaric oxygen chamber or something.
Whatever that means, bro.
I'll call you guys in. I have a bigger one so that 4 of us can sit in it
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
But jokes apart, yeah. And then I wake up at between 7 and 7:30 a.m. without an alarm.
Okay.
That's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is like my circadian pattern is set. So I'm waking up.
What do you want to? If you want to set it for earlier, it'll take you time.
Yeah, like I'm waking up at that hour any which way. So now the only thing is, even if I sleep late, I'm still waking up at that hour.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I need to sleep sooner. So now I try really hard for me to sleep at that time. So that means, maybe avoiding blue light, maybe say not having coffee after 2 p.m.
You have coffee after 2 p.m. at times. You don't know at all. So what do you do for like an afternoon? Because number one is you fix your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Like then you don't get as many afternoon crashes. That's something that I've realized.
Yes, and also if you're not eating too much
Carb. Yeah, I get it.
so you don't have that. And also a new thing that I've started doing
Which
after
is,
that longevity summit.
he's so happy about it.
I look forward to naps. That's
Huh.
my new thing.
Yeah.
Like today I had some time off. Like 6-month-old Joel would be like, let's get in a workout.
Exactly.
Right. Now today I was like, let's get in a nap.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I've seen the difference. I'm just a happier person.
Bro, all of these guys on the internet, like whether it be like Andrew Huberman and or like all of these whatever YouTube videos that I watch, everyone talks about like sleep a lot lately. Hack is the wrong. Optimize your sleep. Optimize your sleep. And no, but like I feel in our society, like naps are like sort of like looked down upon. Okay,
Hustle culture.
hustle culture.
So now I'll tell you the problem with the hustle culture is that sleep is bad. You got to work 16 hours. Then you go network and drink.
Yeah.
Right? And then you wake up in the morning, you still work out.
Yeah.
Now what's happening is, there's some hormones in your body. So basically, your central nervous system has 2 modes. Like the automatic central nervous system has 2 modes.
Yeah.
One is rest and digest,
Yeah.
and one is fight or flight. Because when you want to fight and flight, all your rest and digest is shut off. Right? I'm just dumbing it down, right? To prioritize, I want to fight or I want to flight.
Yeah.
Right? So now at caveman time, that fight or flight will only activate when you saw a big cat. Right? Now it gets activated when the phone rings. Oh, it's my boss.
Bro, I feel really weird like when my phone starts ringing, especially after like 9-10 p.m. अगर मेरा phone बजता है, I'm like, why is it happening? And when I'm asleep and my phone rings, I get another like weird tingling sort of feeling. It's doesn't feel too good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so basically we're in fight or flight all the time. Right? So what's happening is your cortisol is high, your adrenaline is high. So what's happening is a typical day, like I'm stereotyping a person. He gets up late
Yeah.
because he slept late.
What is late for you?
Whatever late for anybody,
Sure.
right? He gets up late. And then because he's late, he has to rush for work.
Okay.
Whatever time it is,
Yeah.
12 p.m.
It's not 12 p.m.
Right? And then because he's running late,
Yeah.
he's grabbing his food on the go.
Yeah.
Again, he doesn't get time to sit and eat aram, say, take that time off. Your cortisol is anyways high because your cortisol is high in the morning. That's your body's way of waking you up. And instead of it coming down, you keep increasing it, right? Because now you're driving, right? Now you're driving the red light eye, but you're the one who's late.
Yeah.
You're frustrated, oh, I'm stuck in a red light.
Yeah.
Right? Then you'll get angry at another guy. Then you'll reach work late, right? You get pissed off there. So all these small events are very minor spikes of, say, cortisol or many smaller versions of uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But it compounds,
Yeah.
right? And then you're always on a stress.
How does it compound?
Because it all adds up, right? I was rushing, didn't brush properly, I brushed through
It compounds through the day.
through the day,
Right?
right? And then work happens and what happens, and the hustle culture happens. So when you were trying to rest, but you're like, no, but I got to do this, right?
Yeah.
And that is the problem. And like I've now come to realize it's also addictive. And I was also one of them.
Yeah.
At my Caventus days, I was traveling 20 times.
Yeah.
20 days in a week.
Yeah.
I was doing like 100 flights in a year.
Yeah.
I was partying. I was working 16 hours. And I just couldn't turn off until I burnt out. Then I would burn out and be in my bed for 3 days and then come back and start again. And I enjoyed it.
Exactly.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's addictive in nature. So when you're calm and there's no chaos, you start craving for it.
Correct.
That's why you'll be in your bed at night watching TV, tell me if I'm wrong, and scrolling through your phone.
And watching TV, like doing multitasking, right? Basically.
Yeah. And in your head, you lay down, put TV to relax.
Exactly. But it's not relaxation.
But you're finding your phone also.
My body feels weird like when I turn off all devices, even though it's so normal. But like it takes, now I started doing it. It takes me a little, like 5-7 odd minutes to like actually get into the zone of like not giving too much. Like I have to have something on in the background, even whether that be TV while sleeping. I put on a wrong habit of like turning the TV on when I was going off to sleep. So I had something running at the back.
Because you're so used to your brain being stimulated, right?
Correct.
So that's why you'll see people on Instagram and today talking about dopamine detox and all of these things now, right? So I feel you gotta take a step back. You gotta chill a little bit, right? And what are you hustling for? We were discussing this earlier on top, right? You know, everything that you are putting off today and you're missing out today for in the future, you can enjoy it today.
Exactly.
Why are you doing that? Like you might not do that to that extent, right? Like for example, I could think of not traveling right now because the more number of sessions I take, the more amount of money I make. So you get to travel to a better place. And I will retire and I'll sit by the beach.
Exactly.
I can take a few less sessions, make a few less money this month and spend a week in Goa this month.
Yeah.
Right? That's a trade-off. But it's a good trade-off to have. So anything that I feel I'm working for, if I can experience a bit of it today, now my mindset is I should do that today because who's seen tomorrow?
I'm of that same school of thought, but like I feel we come from, like we've been raised and grown up in like such a hustle culture that you're just like, hey, if I do this fucking wrong, like if I'm not working, it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get into health and fitness to understand what it's doing to the body.
Right.
To be convinced that it's not good.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between being ambitious and content. Like, and also like, there's no end to it, right? Like, for example, like I was having this discussion with my dad, and when my dad had a very humble beginnings, and my daddy was here working while he sort of grew up in an orphanage and stuff like that.
Right.
And his dream was to have like a Bajaj Chetak.
Right.
And he'll be like, uske baad life mast hai, go on drives on that, right? I was driving an Audi.
Right.
Right?
Right.
He's satisfied.
Yeah.
But what he thought that he'd get out of the Chetak, right? That was far more than what he has to do.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's no end to it.
Correct.
Like as Naval Ravikant also says, you know, like the way to get financial freedom is by, you know, increasing how much you're making, but staying in the same means.
Capping it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you keep increasing your means also,
then you're always poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to figure that out.
No, I get it. But like diving a little back into like getting addicted to chaos is something that we were talking about. Why am I doing this? Why am I so addicted to chaos? When I have the TV on, I can't watch it. Like I can't watch a 3-hour movie straight. Even though I have the time, I have the means of doing it, I'm still on my phone, like doom scrolling or like doing something or the other, but like not actually focusing on what's happening in front of me. What is that addiction to chaos?
It is just an addiction. Like what's addiction to alcohol or drugs or cocaine, right? It's just addiction. You don't want to do it, but you're still doing it. That's enough. It's doing something to your brain and to your body that's like a reward mechanism in your body, right? So now you want some kind of reward.
Okay.
Right? And I feel the number one way to get better at these things is to have a sense of purpose.
Correct.
Right? Only when you're doing something, say, for yourself every day and getting better at it, or you know you're investing time in yourself or your family or to bettering the world, having a purpose will give you a reward sense much higher than all of these things.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, we're all doing this to feel, we're all doing whatever we're doing to feel a sense of accomplishment, to feel successful. That's our problem. Like our parents' generation's problem was surviving, right? They didn't care about how they feel or how do people think, what do people think about me, because if they didn't work today, they were not going to be paying rent that month, right? We don't have that problem. I'm not saying their problem was bigger or our problem is bigger, but that was their problem, and our problem is a sense of satisfaction. Like if I can derive that by having a body like this, or believing that I'm changing, a couple of dozen of people's lives every year.
Yeah.
So that's what's driving me.
Correct.
You should find a sense of purpose.
True.
And then it's easier for you to get out of all these things.
Right. And that's why a lot of people, I feel like me going out now, and whatever parties that happen in Delhi, right, or whatever, wherever I go out, it's like people lack a purpose at times, because there are certain people that come from great backgrounds, okay they've achieved everything, but it's just that they don't have anything. Like for us, we still have that drive of we want to make more money, or you want to get the best body. But with some people it's just there is no purpose after this. What do we do? We just do blow, or that's how people start getting addicted to substances as well, right?
Yeah, but that's also not a good place to be in, right? And I'm not saying it's easy to come out of that.
Right.
Finding a purpose at the end of the day is not easy.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to sometimes you just have to fool your brain to believe there's a purpose. And
correct.
And it's a big problem of this generation that they don't follow religion or spirituality as much, because as an individual, if you're not being able to find a purpose, religion helps you find a purpose. And you're blindly following something. That's faith, right? That's the difference between faith and belief. Belief is I believe because I know, blah, blah, blah. Faith is it's blind.
Right.
But as a collective, you believe in certain things and there's a guideline that you're following.
Correct.
You sort of stay sane.
Yeah.
Right? But when you don't have that, I'm not saying it's not possible without it, but it was just easier with that. There were some societal guardrails and guidelines to keep you in check.
Yeah. So religion's great. Religion's essentially like a lifestyle that you live, right? That's what religion is made for, initially. Exactly.
And you meet so many people.
Yeah.
You go to church, you pray together, you pray for yourself, you pray as a community,
right,
to make this world a better place.
Yeah.
You come out, you hang out with, some people that you like, and then as a family or 2-3 families are going together for a meal.
Right.
And because you have to do all of this, you're not scheduling meetings and stuff, you're taking time off.
So all this. No, I have friends who go to the church on Sundays, and that's why they don't party till late on a Saturday. That's still you know what I mean? You're still that keeps you in check. Yeah. You're going there, you're meeting new people, and
And there are far more benefits of being spiritual or religious, right? For example, it gives you hope.
correct.
Right? God will take care of me. Right? But if you don't believe in God, and then when you don't have hope, where do you go? There's nowhere to go. But when you have God, there's always somewhere at the end that you can go to, right? So that
Exactly.
gives you a lot of meaning in life,
Yeah.
right? I was telling you about my whole incident in my college and things like that. When my dad was supportive, that gave me a boost of confidence more than my 6 packs. When my body changed, I got confident and I started going out more and all of that.
Yeah.
But now I knew my dad's there. No matter how much I fuck up,
Right.
somebody's there, right?
Correct.
So for a lot of people, God is like that. Religion is like that, right? That no matter what I do or no matter where I'm stuck, I get out of this.
Yeah.
I have a way out, right? So, and that's such a big help for you in life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to stop drinking because God says, the body is the only thing He's given you, right? You got to take care of Him.
Yeah.
Some reasoning because of which you're in a system and you can get out of things.
Yeah.
But when there's no reasoning, then you have no reason to get out of things, right?
Right. But coming back to drinking, what do you personally feel about drinking and people around you drinking? Is it okay to have one night a week of drinking and going out partying, or that's not cool?
Some are man of science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Tell me biomarkers. Kya hota kya hai body mein exactly?
See, what happens is if you're already very fine, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have a disease, your liver, kidney, all of that is fine. So a drink or two,
Huh.
that is like 30 to 60 ml,
Yeah.
not as per your wish,
Right.
a day. So that's like whatever, 7 to 10 drinks a week is fine,
It's fine.
but not all on the same night,
Okay.
right? Spread it out,
Yeah.
right? And also the further away it is from bedtime, the better it is, because it doesn't help you sleep.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help you sleep.
It doesn't put you in the right kind of sleep.
Sedation and sleep are two different,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So you will slightly get sedated,
Right.
right? And you possibly wake up in the middle of the night, but you don't remember it.
Exactly. It's not sound sleep.
It's not sound sleep.
Sleep is it, bro. Like one thing that I've realized, as after me not quitting alcohol, like I've been so clear, and like the only thing that has started affecting me now is my sleep pattern, because there have been nights lately where I've actually come back home super late at like 6 a.m. in the morning, not drinking, no, but like for the next 3 days, I'm fucked. Like initially I used to think that's because of alcohol. No, it's because of your sleep.
You remember I told you in Goa that being like, it's not the alcohol that is responsible for how you feel, it's the lack of sleep. Most of it is sleep only. Right? You try drinking the same amount of alcohol in the day,
You'll be fine.
start at 10 a.m., finish by 4 and pass out at 8 p.m., you will be much better. So
100%.
not the amount of alcohol,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Because those are two factors that were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel about psilocybin or methamphetamine? Like replacing, are drugs better than alcohol, like in any way, whether that be like usage of cannabis? Like, because there's so much debate around all of these things, you never know.
So everything, even like alcohol in moderation is fine. Like MDMA is being used for therapies now.
Yeah.
Right? Because it enhances serotonin, you know, the love hormone, and it
Correct.
lets you open up a little bit.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why you can, like I was reading somewhere, like the world's very interesting now. They're having like a divorce ceremony over MDMA.
What
Which is
mean?
solving all the issues and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So that is happening.
So you let go easy, basically.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So all these things, be it alcohol, be it any kind of drugs, I feel in moderation is fine, and it depends person to person, right?
Correct.
Like I know many people who use marijuana, and now it's so available and it's medicinal also,
Correct.
right? So for some people, it'll help calm them down.
Yeah.
At the same time, the same dosage, same strain or whatever is making somebody anxious.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because everybody is wired differently.
Right.
And the more and more I understand about fitness, I'm realizing everyone is an N of one. Like that's like sample size is just one. Like all, like you're a different human being, I'm a different human being. How things will affect you is different. How things will affect me is different.
Yeah.
Like for example, there are people who can have a coffee and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I have a coffee, my sleep will get affected.
But is that good for you, having coffee before your sleep? But like, again, it's
good or bad. Like I said, for everybody it's different. So
Yeah.
you try things out.
Yeah.
And you know,
Guys, if you were thinking you'll get some advice of this podcast, there's no advice. I will ask him anything. He's like, it depends on you.
no, I'll tell you, like I stop eating at around sunset. So I'm
Okay.
gonna eat from this.
Yeah, tell me how do you go about it?
Right. So so I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Eat now, right? And I've seen by sleep tracking and all of those things, I sleep much better. Like
Yeah.
my HRV, like my heart rate, like my rest and digest system that we were talking about earlier is getting better and better. And I'm tracking this, and that's why I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
But I know somebody else, if they don't have a meal closer to bedtime, they're
Right.
more anxious. Right? My heart rate is lower if I haven't eaten. Right? Because
You have a sense of calm.
yeah, because like my body doesn't have to work extra to digest that food
Correct.
right now, right?
Correct.
For somebody else, for whatever reason, like
Yeah.
I've not dived into the reason, and the reason is not important, but the evidence is clear that that person's heart rate is up if they've not eaten closer to bedtime.
Right.
So my advice of a circadian fast may not work for you. So you need to give it a try. Like, okay,
Try it
this
out,
guy is
you
doing, let me try doing it. If it works for me, you do it.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody has to try everything and figure out.
So you don't eat after 6 p.m.
Not 6 p.m., like between 6 and 8 is my last meal that I have.
Okay.
I'm not very strict with it. And I tell myself I'm going to do this 5 out of 7 days.
Okay.
Because when I say I'm never going to eat after dinner, after 8 p.m., I'm setting up
Set myself up for failure. Yeah, get it.
spot, and then you fail.
Yeah.
And then you realize kuch nahi hua, fail okay.
Bro, that actually really sucks. Like, this concept of like setting yourself up to failure, and like we do a lot of it. Like we, even though all of these small failures that you also have, right? Like you stop trusting yourself by doing these things. Like if you're like, okay, nahi, main, I will wake up at like 7:30 or 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
If I fail to do that consistently for like,
Then you're like,
we go.
nothing happened.
Yeah,
And then that translates into everything, and
everything else that you do.
and then that's what a person you become. So never promise yourself something that you're not going to do. Like if you promise
Exactly.
yourself something, keep up to that standard.
Right.
Right? Like if you can't trust yourself, then it's gone.
I tell you how I started fixing myself lately a little bit is like, okay, I picked up one discipline. I was like, ठीक है, I will hit the gym every fucking day. Like whatever the fuck happens, मैं रोज gym जाऊंगा. And like that really started reflecting in all of the other things that I started doing. Whether that be my work, I was waking up on time, quit drinking, quit fucking drinking, bro. So like just by solving one thing for myself, I was able to solve for a lot of things that were happening around me.
You know why? Because you said I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week or every day or whatever it is.
And actually,
You
man,
do it.
exactly.
Then your brain, like when you think about something, you can do it. So
Yeah.
it's all about forming patterns.
Trust and
So in the brain inside, it's all patterns,
yeah.
right? So you got to form patterns. It takes time, but that's why you have to be very careful about, I'm not going to eat a cake again.
No.
I'll eat a slice of cake.
Exactly.
Maybe 2 weeks you skip,
Yeah.
right? But that's a bonus.
Correct.
Set yourselves up for goals that are realistic, achievable, measurable.
Yeah.
The SMART thing.
No, I don't know.
So S, smart. So it's specifics. It has to be specific. Like it
Okay.
can't be, I want to get fit.
Yeah.
What is fit? Right. For example, like,
Oh, you
bench
need
press
to have a clear goal.
yeah, I want to bench press a lot.
Huh.
And that I want to bench press 100 kilos.
Got
So you
it.
can start tracking it.
Huh.
Right? So that's measurability.
Correct.
A is attainable. Obviously, it can't be
Unattainable.
unattainable.
Right.
No, I'm missing something.
No, you're right, bro. SMART.
R was realistic. I think I'm forgetting it.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, look it
Pull
up.
it up.
Yeah, we can
And
pull it up.
T
And
is,
that
time
can be
bound.
me. Yeah.
It's time bound.
Okay. No, but very interesting concept in general. But like, what is this SMART about?
Just open it up. I'm blanking out right now.
Okay, SMART.
It has to be measurable. It has to be specific. It has to be time bound.
S stands for, you know what?
Just type SMART goals. It'll come.
Smart goals. Okay. Okay, got it. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Relevant. Got it. What do you mean by relevancy in a goal?
It has to be relevant to you, right?
Okay, like that. कि ऐसे नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं.
So मैं gym भी नहीं जा रहा, but मेरे को bench press मार.
नहीं सही है.
So you can look it up. Like there are a lot of smart people who've spoken about this and
Yeah.
broken it down
Yeah.
about each aspect of LMART.
Yeah.
Overall, it just says it has to be time bound and it has to be measurable. Like
Okay.
you have to be able to measure it if I'm progressing or not progressing.
Right. No, I get it. And what do you feel about like, okay, a lot of people have been talking about like psilocybin, like coming back to the
Yeah.
thing. कि मतलब, how does it affect your body? Is microdosing cool? Have you tried it out? Do you know of anyone who's tried it out?
So I know people who tried it out, and you keep seeing all these people on the internet who said they've tried it and they talk about their experiences and everything. And one thing in common with all of them is the dosages, right?
Right.
So you like even like I think with the body, everything has to be done gradually. Right? You
Right.
came into the gym, you were training with other trainers at Knox. How many sessions has it been?
It's been, I think, 12 odd sessions now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what you did on the 12th session, what if he made you do on the first session?
You can't do it. I mean, I would feel good. Yeah.
You wouldn't feel good. Right?
Yeah.
So you have to build up.
Correct.
So you build up resilience in your body.
Huh.
And also you start finding what is the right dosage for you. For
Okay.
example, after 50th session, you find out beyond this, if I squat, it's not really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then you try to maintain that, right? And be happy with it, or try to fix something else, and then that will say improve that, right? With everything related to fitness, whatever it is, you have to take small steps, increase the doses slightly, find out, because a lot of times, like you start blaming the thing and not the process. For
Okay.
example, like the first time if we were drinking, I
Yeah.
give you a drink, you have like 30 ml and I had 30 ml, we'll have a good time, chit, just let loose.
Yeah.
We were 16-year-olds, right?
Yeah. But we did drink like that, right?
But most of us didn't, right?
Yeah. You got fucked on like 10 breathers.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then you're like, yeah, alcohol is bad,
Alcohol is bad.
right? But the devil lies in the dosage and the compounding of it, right?
Right.
It's a body with good stuff and the bad stuff. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is not, did I say how many 1? So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is not 3, it becomes 10.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing 3 good habits, it compounds.
Right.
Similarly, if you're drinking, not sleeping, and you're stressed, so it compounds to that level.
Right.
So you're waking up on time, eating right, working out, so it compounds.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just doing these 3 in 3 phases, you won't get as much benefits if you're doing it together.
Yeah.
So it all compounds.
What are like 2 or 3 like lifestyle choices that like I think you think everyone should make? Like, okay, these are things that you need to fucking get right.
And my mantra these days is prioritize sleep.
Okay, sleep.
Afternoon naps, like whenever you can. Like we all working so hard,
Yeah.
right? You know, at least
Agnostic of whoever you're sleeping with.
when you're sleeping alone, you sleep better.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I agree.
But like I'm a little older than you,
Yeah.
so we've spent say whatever 10 odd years more in this world, hustled a little bit more.
Yeah.
And at least now, like I feel, what was the point if I can't take like 1 or 2 afternoon naps in a month, whatever I worked for,
Yeah.
right?
So napping is good.
Napping is good. So prioritize sleep. And you know, just the second thing would be just have a routine in life.
Yeah.
Like waking up at the same time, sleeping at the same time. Now the time could be different for different people. Like I understand, like you're a owner of a restaurant and now you start alcohol, it'll be running late.
Correct.
But I'm not saying go home and sleep and not take care of your business, right?
Huh.
There's so many professions that we need for them to sleep, like not sleep at night, like call centers, your guards and all of that. They all are, their healths are suffering, right?
Exactly.
But they can minimize a little bit of suffering by like sleeping and waking up at the same time.
Okay.
So you start by doing that and
Okay.
then try to, like we are fortunate enough that we can fix our lifestyle. You can hire somebody eventually.
Correct.
But that should be the goal.
Yes.
Waking up and sleeping at the same time.
Yeah.
You start eating and you stop eating at the same time.
Okay. Okay.
Now
That's
your
also
body
thing. Yeah.
has a sense of routine,
Correct.
right? So those two things. The
Yeah.
third thing is prioritize protein.
Right.
Try to have protein in every meal.
Got
right?
it.
Now, people essentially think protein is required for bodybuilding,
Right.
building muscle.
Yeah.
But if you look back, we've all studied in our 9th standard textbooks.
Huh.
Some of our hormones are based out of amino acid, which is when protein breaks down.
Yeah.
Your immunoregulators, basically your antibodies and things that take care of immunity is protein. Your skin, hair, nails are protein. So,
Yeah.
so protein is required for everything.
No, you can't look at my bald head and be like, hey, your skin hair.
No, man, like, but it's really important.
I get it. Like,
Especially in India, and
we
we
just
eat vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we need to prioritize protein. Like if you sort of do these 3 things, you've done 80% of the stuff for your health.
Exactly.
Right? Now the rest 20 is a long way.
It's a complication. According to me, when I look at you, it seems like it's so damn
How is it
complicated.
complicated? What if I was training like I've been training for 18 years
Yeah.
and didn't look like this,
Yeah.
then the world would stop training.
What do you mean?
Like even after 18 years of training,
Yeah.
you can't get...
Oh, like that. Take care. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
No, you got a fantastic physique, bro. And I'll tell you, it's not even me defining it. We were in Goa. We were sitting at this spot
Shack,
at this shack, Prana or somewhere. Why you?
back there. Like,
And nice. And we were sitting there, and Joel just like takes his shirt off. Okay, he walked in. We were sitting. We called for food. He takes his shirt off, and I could see there were 3-4 odd girls sitting on our left, and I was just looking at them. And as soon as he removed his shirt, their jaws dropped. Like I could see them drop. Like I was like, okay, that's the kind of body that I need. I will sleep on time. I just want that reaction out of someone when they look at my body.
but
So-
mostly guys who come up to you saying you got a good body.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought. That ये अपने में cool बनते रहते हैं, all buff gym boys like I don't give much of a fuck. But like, bro, their jaws dropped and my jaw dropped. Bro, I was like, what are these fucking biscuits? So is this unrealistic to achieve, or this you can achieve this by living your regular lifestyle? Because you have to understand that you live at the gym, bro. Like you live at the gym as in like you live a lifestyle like this, right?
For the past 2.5 years. Before that, I had a corporate job traveling 20.
But did you look like this? 80%.
Yeah, 80%.
Sick.
Right? And I look like this now because I recently started doing cardio.
Huh.
And I have changed my perception on fitness from performance to longevity.
Okay.
Right? So that's why I don't want to be big. I want to lean.
Yeah.
Be lean because Let me ask you a question.
No, but like dumb it down for someone who does not really understand the difference between performance and longevity.
Longevity.
Longevity. Yes.
So longevity is basically being able to do what I'm doing today for the next 10 years. Right? Like I'm squatting 300 kilos. I know when I'm 40, I may not, like I shouldn't be at least.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, even if I'm able to do for whatever reason at 40, I won't be able to do 50. But 60, definitely I won't be able to, right?
Correct.
So you need to start dialing things down and do things that are supporting me rather than harming me, right? By that I don't mean like squatting a lot is bad for you.
Yeah.
It's just that there's nothing wrong as overtraining.
Okay.
So what
is that debate, right? Like some people.
What is actually is under recovery.
Okay.
Right? So you can train as much as you can recover from.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to understand an athlete. He's training twice a day, but he's taking an afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
Right. And sleeping on time.
Yeah.
He has people who are taking care of nutrition, right? But a recreational athlete, that's me and you.
Yeah.
Right? We're attending meetings. We're stressed.
Correct.
We're not hitting sales target. We're going out at night.
Right. We live a normal life. Yeah.
We're running.
Yeah.
I don't know what normal is. After the gym, we're rushing.
Okay.
Whereas an athlete is sitting down, doing breathing exercises, calming and setting nervous.
Exactly. Apparently, Ronaldo takes 5 naps a day of like 90-minute long 5 naps a day. It's a thing.
But I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Yeah. That sounds tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do you get sleep after like every 2 hours or something?
So you can condition yourself to do anything.
Correct.
But I'm coming to believe because my afternoon naps, whenever I get, like I try to do at least 2 a week now.
Yeah.
And I try to do this thing called non-sleep deep rest.
Yeah. We on the yoga and bandwagon. Yoga Nidra.
Yeah. So I'm just getting used to it. You know what
NSDR, right?
I know what the practice looks like. And I've done it like about 20-25 times now, and I'm realizing I'm getting a hang of it. And I can also see the potential when you really get the hang of it. You can like feel really, really calm and composed.
For sure.
I not experience it now, but I can imagine if I keep up with the practice, it'll be equivalent to getting high.
Bro, it really is. Like, I feel like afternoon naps in general, you have so much energy after.
Such a better person. I'm happy with my clients.
Exactly. You're not cranky. Like, you're emotionally like stable. Like, you don't have these whatever shifts of mood randomly.
Some days I'm starting at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I have a full day of work till 4 p.m. and training myself from 4 to 5 or say 3 to 5.
Right.
And then I start my second day, which is 5 to 10 p.m. of training session.
Correct.
Sometimes, like, it's hard. That afternoon nap just sets things. And also, again, like, my training has come down, and which is a good thing. And I'm realizing, like, I still look good. So it's not affecting, like, I'm not losing muscle. Like, it's built in our mind, right? If I'm not going to train, I'm going to lose muscle, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay losing 5% of muscle if I'm just a better human being or, like, over.
Correct. No, I understand. And, like, going back to, like, a little bit of, like, because we live in a society where everyone, like, does a lot of substances and, like, there's a lot of that involved. So now, for people who are actually drinking alcohol over the weekends, how do they recover, like, in terms of
some hacks?
Some hacks, yeah, for sure. You were telling me about some hacks in Goa that, okay, supplementation.
Yeah.
How do you introduce that into your regime?
See, again, supplementation very individual.
Right. Okay, no, we get it.
Anybody's trying to get some answers.
Yeah.
Very individual, right? But there are some basic foundational supplements that everybody should take.
Right.
Like first is a well-formulated multivitamin. Right? Why I say well formulated is sometimes they have a lot of, like a high dose of certain things. And you don't know if you're already getting high doses from your food or not food, or somebody who's not tracking the food they eat or getting blood tests and all of those things, right? So you want to look at something which just has the RDA, which is like the basic before. If you go below this, you're sort of having a certain kind of disease, right?
Yeah.
So you have that and good forms of various micronutrients in it, right? And if you don't know where to get one, I formulate supplements for a brand called Näck. So
Shoutout Näck, guys. Yeah.
So making your life easier.
Right.
But yeah, or you can go look up at the ingredients and try to get similar ingredients in other brands and make sure that they are third party tested and all of those
Are
things.
you talking about a specific supplement
Yeah, a multivitamin.
or multivitamin?
So the second one is, these are not in any particular order, but
Okay.
they're like top 5 that are safe for anybody to take.
Got it. Creatine.
Okay, second is creatine.
Right.
It's a well-researched supplement.
It's the most research supplement apparently. After way. Okay.
Yeah, right. And it was discovered like 200 years ago. If there was something wrong, or it, people will find out, because that's what people like to do, find things wrong in everything.
Yeah.
And they've not been managed to do about creatine.
Right.
And unless you already have some issues and you know about like kidney and liver issues,
Yeah.
mostly good to go. Then comes your omega-3s.
Yeah.
Right.
Fish oils.
Yeah. So there could be vegans out here.
Okay.
So EP and DHA is what you want to look at. So when you see a fish oil, you read the label and normally you see how many grams of fish oil you're getting. But what's important to see is how many grams of EP and DHA you're getting, and how concentrated it is. And like it's a complicated one, but that's more important to find how much EP and
Omega-3s basically.
omega-3.
Yeah.
That's the third one. The fourth one is magnesium.
Okay.
Most of us are deficient in magnesium.
It's also what helps us with sleep.
It is a cofactor in over 300 odd reactions in your body,
Okay.
ranging from sleep
Yeah.
to like when the sun hits your skin.
Yeah. How does your body?
It's to travel through your blood,
Yeah.
and that transportation is also affected by magnesium. Then it goes to your liver, and the conversion happens. That also is affected by magnesium. So it's 300 reactions like this.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, you're making your body more efficient in these 300 reactions, and that's why you can sleep also better, because you're less stressed. And people who are high stressed, whose stress levels are higher, they need more magnesium.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it helps with stress and cortisol release. Indirectly. Yeah.
Indirectly.
Yeah.
Right? And then the last one would be your, I would club a bunch of things in this. It's your protein powders. It could be your whey. It could be your plant if you're vegan. And your amino acids, your collagen, all of these things are building blocks or proteins.
Yeah.
You're not going to go wrong with these things.
Okay. So these are supplements that do I recommend most of
Stack.
Yeah, basic stack. Okay. Most of them you can get on Näck as well. I personally consume products by Näck.
You've been having astaxanthin.
Yes, I have.
How's that been going? Do you see any difference?
I don't. You said this, right? You have to take it for a long time. You won't really see. You'll start noticing small changes. Now that I haven't been taking my multivitamin since the past couple of weeks, I feel a difference in my body.
It could be a B vitamin.
Exactly.
With your energy, right?
Exactly. What it is, but like, yeah, once you stop taking them is when you can start pointing it out. When you do, even with creatine, I feel like I look better. I'm able to perform better at times.
So creatine is marketed for muscle and stuff.
But actually,
Actually, what it does, it's
cell recovery.
it increases your efficiency at a cellular level.
Correct.
And your cells are there from your brain to heart to everything.
Yeah.
Right. So there are studies that even showed like there were a group of people who were
Okay, cells are not supposed to recover. They're supposed to replenish. You make new cells. Your body makes new cells.
so they repair all.
Repair also. Okay.
Yeah. And basically, like people who were sleep deprived, they had a better reaction time kind of a questionnaire result for people who were on creatine. So it shows that there are cognitive benefits also.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So what are these other things that you can... So thinking from a more of a cognition point, what are supplements? Do you recommend any supplementation purely from like a cognition point of
So
view?
like I mentioned a couple of them in the stack, like
Right.
DHA,
Okay.
magnesium, they all help in cognition. So these are the five foundational supplements that will help to get you to that 80%.
Okay.
And like I said, the rest 20% is you jump up to maybe 60 pills.
Yeah.
Right? But first get here,
Okay.
solve your problems. And then, like a person like me now,
Yeah.
like now is the right time for me to see how I can remain here.
Yeah.
Like there's something called as chronological age,
Right.
which is I was born on this date of this year. So
Right.
this is this year. As per the calendar, I'm this many years
Yeah.
of age. And there's something called as biological age.
Yeah.
It's basically, if you see how average 18-year-old looks like, 19-year-old looks like, 20-year-old looks like, right?
Yeah.
So in comparison to that, how an average person looks like, how do I look like?
Right.
Like, do I look like a 40-year-old or
No.
look like a 26-year-old?
Correct.
So now that's the next goal. Like
Okay.
for that, like I've been getting a lot of blood tests done,
Right.
reading about it, and I'm trying to fix biomarkers. So my next goal is like, first my goals were like to look a certain way,
Right.
lift a certain amount.
Right.
Like now it's changed to like having a higher VO2 max. And my
What is a VO2 max?
So it's your capacity of your lungs to carry oxygen.
Okay.
Dumbing it down. It's basically how long can you walk or hike or run without getting tired,
Got it.
basically. So I want to reach to a point which is like the top 1 percentile in my...
That's why the Saturday runs.
Yeah.
That's why the Saturday
So
runs.
the Saturday runs are the test, basically, the 5-kilometer runs. Mostly it's to do with the zone 2 work.
Okay. Got it.
Zone 2 is basically 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate.
Yeah.
So it's basically the bare minimum effort you can put in to qualify as exercise.
Correct.
Anything below that is not exercise.
Not exercise. So not exercise.
It's
Yeah.
almost like,
Yeah.
right? So you're at that pace.
Yeah.
What I've done is I've stacked it. So I have these meetings at 10 a.m. almost every day. So 2 of those. Like,
Everyone's zones also vary depending on like how much their heart rate goes
so
up and
if
down.
you're like sedentary, you
Yeah.
don't move at all, suddenly you start walking, you'll be in zone 2.
Okay.
Like in athletes, your zone 4 will look like an athlete's zone 2.
Got
So
it.
it's about how
Oh.
conditioned you are, so
Right.
how good you are. Right?
Yeah.
So working on that. So I was saying I do meetings, and while the meeting, I'm on my Stairmaster climbing stairs. So in like a meeting, I've climbed 300 floors.
Yeah. Does your wife get annoyed like when you're at home, like in general? Because I see you put up stories about the cycling shuru, like.
Yep. So gym jaake meeting attend karte hum.
Okay.
But I'm stacking it, right? I'm
Right.
meeting any which ways. Otherwise, I'd be in bed taking the meeting or sitting on the table
Yeah.
taking the meeting. Why not stack it and do something good?
Got it. So you start stacking stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now I know I have a meeting, I'll get onto the cycle. Walk to the gym, get my,
Yeah.
I did a clean.
But are you able to like think clear? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Because I need to listen in and need to give,
Huh.
like the meeting that I have to run, that time I'm sitting down and not doing anything else. But there's so many meetings that
you have to attend.
part of
Okay, got it.
attend, you need to know
Yeah.
things, or
Yeah.
your input is required like a little bit.
Yeah.
I also found a way to take your phone into a sauna.
How is that?
So
How good are saunas and steams for you anyway?
like if you have to rank them,
Yeah.
infrared sauna would be number 1.
Yeah.
Then your traditional sauna, then a steam.
And what about like the cold things, like the cold plunges and like
So the whole idea is, like a generation ago, there were not ACs, right?
right.
Like in my house, like I remember as a kid having the first AC in the house, right? So obviously the AC wasn't there.
Yeah.
So we didn't live in a controlled temperature environment. So you feel extreme hot, you feel extreme cold. Now we're always in a thermostat,
Correct.
right? So to make ourselves resilient, we sit in the sauna and take the ice bath.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Okay. Okay. So and what about like it helping you recover better, like cold plunges?
There are benefits.
There are
Yeah,
benefits,
yeah,
right?
because when you're in the cold,
Right.
what happens is there's something called as vasoconstriction. So your basically the blood flows really slowly,
Okay.
and then when you go into hot, it goes really fast. So that the contrast helps, with the blood flow and things like that.
Got it.
But more than all of those benefits, what I feel the best benefit is, even after doing them for a while, like I can't just get up and enter in an ice bath. I
Yeah.
have to prepare myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Mm.
I keep saying that I don't want to do it, but then I go do it, and then I feel good about it, and I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And how often should you do an ice bath? Go into an ice bath.
Dr. Huberman says 11 minutes in a week. So
Okay.
you can split it up for 2 minutes, 5 times, whatever, 2.5 minutes, 5 times. You do it
11 minutes a week.
a week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And most people make a mistake is, so there are 2 variables in it, right?
Right.
One is time and the other is temperature,
Got it.
right? So it only works if you're uncomfortable. If you're comfortable in that, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So either you can be uncomfortable at 8 degrees at 5 minutes, and 6 minutes you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you keep increasing the time.
Okay. So only the 6 minute counts.
Yeah. No, Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
You have to be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Right, so you either keep the time constant or you keep changing the temperature.
Right.
People don't measure the temperature.
Got it. Okay, nice. Okay, on that note, thanks so much, bro, Joel. Thanks so much for doing this. I think I got to learn so much. And any closing thoughts do you have? Anything for our viewers, whoever's watching? Anything about fitness, whatever, some jargon like spit.
Just prioritize sleep, guys.
Prioritize sleep.
Hustle culture is overrated.
Yeah. Perfect. Cheers. Boom. Okay. Can we do it all over again from the start?